to come into the dressing room while she was breastfeeding. And then part of the complaint was that he came into the dressing room while I was breastfeeding. Like, you literally have a text exchange back and forth. They just never thought that anybody was going to come out with the receipts.
Because no one's ever done it, because everyone usually just bows down.
Because everyone's scared.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't attend the Met Gala, but were they rejected from it? Also, sad news, Justin Baldoni's foundation is shutting down.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are seeking further legal protection. The couple's legal team files a letter with the court January 21st requesting a gag order for Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman.
The golden couple of Hollywood has been caught red-handed. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, once America's most adored celebrity pair, have allegedly manipulated their way onto Time Magazine's prestigious lists in what industry insiders are calling one of the most blatant PR stunts of 2025. The facade is crumbling, and what's being revealed behind their perfect Instagram posts and charming interviews might shock even their most devoted fans. Is this the beginning of the end for Hollywood's picture-perfect power couple? Have you noticed how conveniently Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively keep landing on prestigious lists right when their public image needs a boost? That's no coincidence. He is on the cover as one of the 100 most influential companies in the world, notes an industry observer. Maximum Effort, which is his company, is being celebrated, and everyone's like, how much did he pay for this cover? The answer, according to multiple sources, is nothing, because he allegedly didn't need to pay. He just needed the right connections.
You're probably doing that Hollywood thing where everybody else is just there for you.
Just months ago, Blake Lively mysteriously appeared on Time's 100 most influential people list. The justification? A donation she made to the NRACP in 2019. Yes, a 6-year-old charitable gesture suddenly made her one of the world's most influential people in 2025. Blake Lively got this fake award from Time 100 of the most influential people of 2025 because she gave a donation to the NAACP back in 2019, explains an industry insider, highlighting the absurdity of the timing. And now, with perfect timing as the couple faces mounting legal controversies and public backlash, Ryan's company Maximum Effort lands on Time's most influential companies list. What are the odds? What you're not supposed to know is who's really pulling the strings behind these seemingly prestigious honors. Time Magazine isn't the independent journalistic institution it once was. It's now owned by billionaire Mark Benioff, CEO of Salesforce. And guess who Benioff has deep connections with? Ari Emanuel, the powerful Hollywood agent who just happens to represent Ryan Reynolds.
It's really interesting. A lot of them are just not looking at him at all, even though he's standing and spraying. That's really interesting.
There are actual photos floating around of Mark Benioff and Rahm Emanuel, Ari's brother, cozying up at events, smiling for cameras, networking in plain sight, notes a media analyst. And you're telling me none of this is connected? Please. The whole operation reportedly worked like this. They went to Time Magazine and made a whole deal, explains an insider. Not only are you going to get your wife an award, which you guys need right now, and we'll get a civil rights attorney to step up and vouch for her. We're then going to wait a few months and then we'll promote your business. We're going to put you in the Time 100 companies so you can then not only get the attention, but you can then use all your businesses which make you all the money. Think about it. These aren't just random honors. They're calculated image rehabilitation efforts disguised as prestigious awards, allegedly orchestrated by some of the most powerful figures in entertainment and media. For years, Ryan and Blake have sold themselves as Hollywood's most relatable couple, the charming, self-deprecating husband and his witty, glamorous wife, a match made in celebrity heaven. But that carefully constructed image is reportedly falling apart faster than they can patch it up. Like for years, these two were shoved down everyone's throats as the power duo, the picture-perfect marriage, everyone's favorite relatable celebrities, notes a social media analyst. But guess what? The cracks are showing, and they're not just small cracks. This whole PR-built empire is straight up falling apart in front of our eyes. What's particularly damning is how the couple's behavior changes when the spotlight shifts.
I occasionally work with a group called Pacific Wild and a guy named Ian McAllister who runs Pacific Wild, and I just love everything they do up there. So my hope is to go up there and get a distant look at a spirit.
When Blake won a temporary legal victory, she immediately flooded her Instagram with celebratory posts, positioning herself as a champion of justice. But when the legal tide turned against her, particularly with the Van Zandt Sham lawsuit revelations, complete silence. Remember the last time the lawsuit headlines looked good for her? She was on Instagram within minutes, celebrating, pretending to be the proud defender of victims, making sure everyone knew she was standing up for what's right. But this time, total silence, observes an entertainment reporter. This selective visibility has not gone unnoticed by fans, who are increasingly questioning the authenticity of the couple's carefully crafted public personas. As the empire crumbles, Ryan Reynolds has been scrambling to maintain control of the narrative, and failing spectacularly. The man has been on a full-blown PR parade, taking subtle but, let's be real, painfully obvious shots at Baldoni, while simultaneously painting himself as the ultimate success story, notes a PR expert who's been tracking the situation. In interviews about his Time magazine honor, Reynolds repeatedly emphasized integrity and accountability as the foundations of his business philosophy, claims that many find laughable given the circumstances.
In the docs obtained by E! News, Blake's legal team alleges that, quote, virtually every day since the actress filed her civil rights complaint back in December, Mr. Friedman has given television interviews, appeared on podcasts, issued inflammatory written statements, and leaked information to the Hollywood press.
Integrity from the same man who's closing comment sections faster than you can say damage control. Spare us, says one social media commentator. If accountability means hiding from your own audience because they're calling you out, then yeah, maybe Ryan's got a new definition of the word we haven't heard before. His strategy has become painfully transparent. Present himself as vulnerable and relatable in interviews, while systematically silencing criticism and manipulating public perception behind the scenes. You don't scramble to shut down your own social media conversations unless you're panicking behind the scenes, points out a digital marketing specialist. You don't build an entire fake PR empire, buy off media attention, and hide behind integrity while publicly humiliating someone else unless you're desperate to keep the spotlight fixed on your carefully curated image. Perhaps the most damaging blow to the Reynolds' lively PR machine came from an unexpected source, Daily Mail reporter James Vushka, who reportedly secured whistleblower status after exposing how Blake's team allegedly pressured him into supporting her narrative. Vushka started off doing exactly what Blake's team wanted. He filed a sworn statement downplaying Blake's alleged smear campaign against Baldoni, helping them push their version of events. Classic Hollywood cleanup job, right? Explains an industry insider.
Did Ryan Reynolds ditch Blake Lively at the premiere of Another Simple Favor to save his own career?
But guess what? Turns out he was pressured into it, and unlike Ryan, who apparently thinks hiding behind charm is the solution to everything, Vushka decided to blow the whole thing wide open. In a move that sent shockwaves through Hollywood, Vushka reportedly fired the Daily Mail's in-house lawyers, the same legal team tied to one of the most notorious tabloid empires, and brought in Mark Garagos, a high-profile attorney known for taking on powerful opponents. The fact that Vushka ditched corporate-backed lawyers for one of Hollywood's biggest legal sharks says everything about how real this mess is, notes a legal analyst familiar with the situation. This development suggests the Reynolds' lively camp may have gone to extraordinary lengths to control the narrative, lengths that are now being exposed by the very people they allegedly tried to manipulate. The contradiction between Ryan and Blake's public statements and their alleged behind-the-scenes behavior has become impossible to ignore. Ryan's been walking around with this ridiculous people-pleaser badge, selling himself as the harmless, sarcastic guy next door, but behind that relatable act is one of the most calculated corporate manipulators in Hollywood, claims a former industry colleague. In his Time magazine interview, Reynolds admitted to having a deep-rooted need to be liked, framing it as an endearing vulnerability, but critics suggest this admission is just another calculated move to seem relatable while continuing to engineer every aspect of his public image.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are seeking further legal protection. The couple's legal team files a letter with the court January 21st requesting a gag order for Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman.
1 minute, he's proudly admitting he craves public approval, like being liked is his entire identity. The next, he's standing in front of reporters claiming he doesn't care what anyone thinks, as if the thousands of people roasting him online don't exist, points out a social media analyst. Meanwhile, Blake has positioned herself as an advocate for women and justice, yet reportedly orchestrated elaborate legal maneuvers through shell companies like Van Zandt Incorporated to obtain private information and silence critics. They play the victims of online hate while using every insider connection in the book to keep their image spotless, says an entertainment journalist. Time Magazine awards, magazine covers, influencer praise, it's all part of the same bought and paid for strategy to distract the public. Ironically, Ryan Reynolds' greatest professional failure may have provided the template for his approach to public relations and image management. It's honestly laughable how Ryan Reynolds has managed to turn his most embarrassing flop into some weird marketing bible for his entire life, notes a film critic. The man bombed so hard with Green Lantern back in 2011 that most people would have buried their careers and disappeared. But Ryan, he did what he always does. He took that humiliation, slapped a sarcastic spin on it, and convinced half of Hollywood that failure is just part of his genius branding. This pattern of turning disasters into opportunities through calculated charm offensives has become Reynolds' signature move. From the Peloton ad controversy to his acquisition of Wrexham AFC, Reynolds has mastered the art of transforming potential PR disasters into personal branding wins. He loves to tell the story about how Wrexham symbolizes hope, unity, and community upliftment, but behind the heartwarming speeches, there's the same corporate machine at work. Merchandise sales, docuseries profits, endless press coverage, explains a sports business analyst. It's not about saving small towns, it's about inflating his brand with a manufactured underdog narrative. And the fans, they're eating it up, not realizing they're just extras in his carefully choreographed business expansion plan. Now, perhaps the most significant shift in this unfolding drama is how the public perception of Ryan and Blake is changing. Once adored as relatable celebrities who could do no wrong, they're now facing unprecedented scrutiny from the very fans who once defended them. The fan base is turning. Social media isn't as easy to manipulate as Ryan probably hoped, observes a digital culture expert. The cracks in their perfect couple narrative are wide open now, and the backlash is getting louder. People are seeing the staged photo ops for what they really are, desperate distractions from the mess behind the scenes. Comment sections on social media are increasingly filled with questions about the couple's authenticity, the convenient timing of their accolades, and the growing list of controversies surrounding them. It's not just critics noticing, it's their own fans waking up to the scam, says a social media analyst. The whistleblowers, the insiders, the reporters flipping sides, they're all exposing the empire's shaky foundation. As the carefully constructed Reynolds' lively empire shows signs of collapse, industry observers are wondering how long they can maintain the facade. Fans, insiders, media outlets, they're all peeling back the layers, exposing the mess behind the marketing, notes an entertainment industry veteran. Ryan and Blake's carefully curated facade is collapsing, and no amount of Deadpool jokes or influencer endorsements can save it. The couple now faces a critical juncture: continue doubling down on their manufactured image, or acknowledge the growing skepticism and attempt a more authentic approach. For the longest time, they spun every controversy into a win. Legal battles became victim stories. PR disasters became marketing opportunities. Even their marriage was packaged as Hollywood's most relatable love story, observes a celebrity brand consultant. But the script is falling apart as the lies unravel. What remains to be seen is whether Ryan and Blake can reinvent themselves once again, or if the mounting evidence of their alleged media manipulation will permanently damage their carefully crafted brand. How long do you think Ryan and Blake can keep faking it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.